Right, hello there, this is Fibro Jedi, also known as LOTRO Family, and this is my second episode of the Let's Learn Warden Together series. So in the first episode we just covered some basics, getting used to the idea of Gambits, and getting us through to starting Archet. Just as a quick note, I won't be adding commentary to every single episode because I'm going to show questing, and progression through the story, but will only therefore only sort of speak the quest giver text. If you'd like to excuse me, we've got colds and coughs and all sorts flying around the house, so I'll do my best to try and keep my voice clear. So this is episode 2. We will do a few quests around Archet. This is burning down of Archet. So yes, so I can't join my kin yet. Anyway, right, so here we go. So the first thing I wanted to quickly cover is what is the gear of a warden and what stats are important. If any of you have rolled hunters in the past, this becomes much easier to understand, because wardens take medium armor. As you can tell from the really basic leather shirt that you get when you start, which has a wonderful 1 armor to it. You may as well be wearing a t-shirt. But the stats that are important to your warden are the same as your hunter. So agility here, as a warden, agility is very important for you. It increases your physical mastery, tactical mastery, which will help your healing presumably, critical rating, parry rating, and evade rating. With probably vitality being, yes, is important. So vitality is also important because it increases your maximum morale and out of combat morale regeneration. So for other stats here, I have a negative -7 here on might because I'm a Hobbit. As a warden, might increases your physical mastery, block rating, and parry rating. So certainly as a Hobbit, you'll want to be counteracting your negative race figure in there. Will, resistance rating, and tactical mitigation, helpful later but not exactly urgent at level 1. And fate, which is something I've been doing on defense characters, because it increases your in-combat morale regeneration, but not at the expense of either agility or vitality in here. So the gearing from a armor perspective and jewelry perspective, if you roll a hunter then you just think the same and you have got your warden stats. So yes, we had from the first episode, you carry a spear and a warden's shield, so not heavy shields, and a javelin is your ranged icon. Cool. That covered. Let's do a couple of quests and at least get past level 1, shall we? Okay.
Thank goodness you're awake. That fellow Amdir seems very ill.
You were exhausted after what happened last night, but that ranger got us all safe to Archet in the end. I'm terribly worried for his friend. Amdir looks very ill. You can check on him if you like. He's just over there to the west of where I'm standing. Do you see him there across the lane? Yeah, well I would, but there's a hunter in the way. See for yourself how Amdir fares.
Do not trouble yourself on my account. It is only a chill.
So you are awake at last, Lumuna. You earned your rest, for you fought bravely last night. As for myself, I found no peace in slumber. The blade of the Black Rider pierced only my shoulder, though not deeply. I am chilled, but it is no matter. Thank you for your concern, but it is Strider for whom I fear. He is charged with great task, but he tarries for my sake, and for Archet's.
There are too many deeds to be done, all pressing, and none of them easy.
Hail Lumuna, Amdir is right. I am torn asunder. I do not wish to leave him in this state, and Archet must be warned that the Blackwolds mean to raid the town. But I should be seeking a different Baggins right now. And finally we get a gear upgrade. So yes, we have to go for the medium one here. 26 armor, no stats.
Perhaps you can
at this
help,
point.
my friend. Captain Brackenwood will not heed my warnings.
So there we go, we get up to level 2. no additional abilities have been added to my quick bar, so we haven't got to consider anything else yet. The people of Archet will be in great danger when the Blackwolds execute the plan we witnessed last night. The captain here, a man named Brackenbrook, does not like my look and will not heed my warnings. Pray speak to him on behalf and see if you can rouse him. Every moment I spend here is a moment in which my true charge plunges blindly nearer to unfathomable peril. The Black Rider you saw last night seeks a Baggins, and our friend Mundo is not the one. He is not the one. No, he's not.
I don't like the look of those rangers one bit.
No, a lot of people distrust the Rangers for various reasons. But I let them stay on my account of the Pale One's wounds. You say the Blackwolds mean to attack us, but I do not believe it, not without proof. These brigands have always been about. They are an unruly lot, but not murderous. I'll not be attacking them without good reason. If you must, try to talk to folks around town and get their opinions. If they are on your side, I'll consider the Ranger's warning. So I'll have a poddle around Archet here. As this is supposed to be sort of a learning together thing, there might be newer players, so I don't want to rush getting into progression. I just want us to enjoy the story. I want to go through the epic, so everything through the epic will be recorded, so that the whole story gradually unfolds for your warden.
What do you need?
If Captain Brackenbrook says we're safe, then we're safe. He's always done a fine job at protecting our village. Why would the Blackwold Wanderers suddenly attack us now? Of course Archet is safe. Why would our fallible human captain ever be wrong? All this fuss over a bunch of bullies.
What can I do for you?
I see that your friend is wounded, and I hope it was not the Blackwolds that did it to him. I truly trust Captain Brackenbrook, for he's always kept us safe since he took charge of Archet. I won't argue with the captain, but I will help the injured fellow in any way I can. Captain Brackenbrook, practically perfect in every way. Right.
Hello there.
Constable Thistlewood. Thistlewool. Thistlewool, that's not very nice to wear. Do you think the Blackwolds mean to attack us? Don't be absurd. They harbour no love for us, but they haven't a leader, and they fight more among themselves than do with outsiders. They couldn't raid a squirrel's nest, let alone our town. One of those famous last words moments. So, tell Strider that the people of Archet do not believe you.
Alas for peaceful folk everywhere. It is an enormous task to convince them that evil people with evil intentions will commit evil deeds.
It seems that I cannot leave yet. Amdir needs my help, and I have pressing work to do in Archet to get these people ready for the impending storm. If you help me, perhaps I can leave before tonight. So yes, I don't think we're wearing any gloves, so you haven't got much gear in here, so we have to go for the medium armor ones. There's no point in having the light armor ones.
Before you try to fight, you must learn what skills you may from the trainer.
There we go. As long as you wish to help Archet, it is more important that you hone your skills as a warden. I would like you to assist me, but wish to make sure you are ready for the evil trials you will face. Right, so where's the warden trainer? Over here somewhere. So this is a class training mission for the warden. Thigh to neck. Very interesting name of the quest. I'm glad to see you, my friend. I chose the path of warden long ago, and perhaps, if you are willing to listen, I can help a young one like yourself. A warden is a master of sword, spear, shield, and javelin. He, or in my case, she, is also an excellent study of his enemies, and will learn how an enemy can be toppled with the right combination of blows, or how to strengthen his own heart for the battle to come. And battles will be plentiful, for a warden seeks to defend those who cannot defend themselves by drawing the eye of the enemy. So, It says now, use the skill Defensive Strike on the training, which I think is this one here. No, Shield Bash. Defensive Strike. Use the skill Defensive Strike. Hint. Wardens use combat... Ah, yes, of course. So, Defensive Strike will be a Gambit, I assume. So, if I go into skills up here in Gambits, because that's where we found it was, Defensive Strike here is... I need to use 2... what are they called? I can't remember now, but 2 basically defensive moves. I will have to try and find the wording again. Did I keep it in my notes? Maybe I kept it in my notes. This is why I didn't get rid of this. Oh, it's just a shield gambit. Okay, well that makes it straightforward. Okay. So yes, we want to use Defensive Strike, which involves doing 2 shield gambits, and I think the only one we've got here is the Shield Bash at this level. Ranged builder. Yes, so I'll have to do the Shield Bash twice to do that. Wardens use a combination of their basic skills such as Quick Thrust and Shield Bash to move to build more powerful Gambit attacks. To use your Defensive Strike skill, attack a training dummy with your Shield Bash ability twice. This should cause your Gambit default skill to change into your Defensive Strike skill. Use your Defensive Strike to strike a training dummy. So there we go. So open tapping. Yes, we'll make precisely no damage on this. So 2 of those, and another one, and then Defensive Strike. There we go. Of course, we've got to stay in. So when I did 1 of each, I get the Persevere, which increases block rating, partial block chance, and does a bit of healing as well. Okay, I'm still in combat. Hopefully I'll come out of combat shortly. Well done, Lamuna. Make sure you visit a trainer as you advance in your role as a warden. As you grow, you will find that trainers such as myself have tasks for you, as well as the occasional bits of wisdom. So now we... Well, technically we can use a sword. I'm not sure I'd want to, because I quite like the idea of this one being different to my other characters, but having spear plus javelin. I use spears on my hunters. Not all of them, but some of them. So we can go for a sturdy spear. I suppose with swords you could get a bit of parry chance, but hey. So we get a rusted javelin, yay, and a wooden warden shield here. So we can do that, and we can now equip these fresh items. There we go. That's not a bad. That's quite a pretty shield to start off with. There are various shields that look like that the more you progress with the story. But okay, so of course we have to go see Strider again, because it's almost like visiting Elrond later on. Go to Strider. Go to Strider. I know he's got the entire fate of Middle Earth to deal with, but go visit him and talk to him anyway.
Do you feel confident in what you have learned?
Have you learned some new tricks? Well, I haven't actually, because I haven't gained a skill, but hey. I can see you have. You seem more confident now. You are about to take on a most perilous task. If we fail, I fear that ruin will come to more towns than Archet alone. The Black Rider has brought the influence of Angmar to our very doorsteps, Lamuna. So much is at stake this day. Are you ready to begin your great adventure?
Amdir, my poor old friend. A shadow has crept over him.
So again, we've hit level 3, and I still don't think we've gained any new skills. Does it tell you if you've got gained new gambits? No. Good to know, but no. See, there are a lot of things already that we technically can do. You build up your DPS if you do 2 spear builders. There's the taunt builders, of course, which I haven't touched yet. Not really needed to, but they can lead to... Oh, interesting. So if you use an attack plus a taunt, So an offensive ability plus a taunt. You gain an ability here called Offensive Strike that obviously does its own damage, but then the target is drained of 2 morale. You gain 2 morale, so it says attacker gains, and then over time, so you end up draining morale from your opponent, and you gain what you're draining from them. That's quite neat. So you don't just have to go into defensive to get self-healing here, or fully offensive for that matter either. If you and 2 taunts, you get an option here for 7 light damage initially, which means you've got to look at your tactical mastery if you're dealing light damage. That's okay, because your agility affects your tactical mastery. Good. So there's a lot of combinations, or as someone on Twitter said, button mashing. Lots of button mashing. Okay, there we go. Amdir, my old friend, a shadow has crept over him. The black rider that stabbed him is more fell than any creature you'll meet in your travels. We have little time and must stretch what time we have by doing 2 things at once. Amdir needs medicine, and quickly. Do you know a plant called kingsfoil? It has great power to heal. Well, I just read about that in The Return of the King. You should ask Captain Brackenbrook if he knows if any grows in these parts. Offer him assistance as well, if it does not take you far out of the way. We must begin to work on him, and perhaps he will look more kindly upon you after you do him a good deed. Okay, maybe. Maybe not.
I don't like the look of those rangers one bit.
Kingsfoil, eh? 'Tis a nice leafy plant that grows around Bronway's Folly. A ruin south of here. Help yourself to as much as you like, we've no use for it. As for your offer of assistance, I will take you up on it. We're always in need of able hands, and you might as well earn your keep while you stay with us. My best man Caldercob is having trouble with wolves of late. Perhaps you could help him on your way to do a gardening job for the ranger. Huh? Oh, he's so cynical. Okay. So, we need to go to Bronway's Folly, which is here. You can't pick up the exploration deed for Bree in the intro instance. This is kind of like a shared instance. But you need Bronway's Folly, Blackwold's Roost, and there's a history of the Dunedain in here as well. Thought there was another one for the exploration. No, I don't think so. I think it's just those 3. Happy to be wrong. My memory isn't exactly the greatest. Right, so we have to deal with some wolves, which is good because now we're outside of Archet town. We want to get on and do some combat and play around with Gambits. Yes, indeed. Right.
Well, well, if it isn't the rumour monger.
As you can see for yourself, there aren't no brigands causing problems. It's the wolves that threaten us lately. They seem to have gathered around Bronway's Folly, especially about the top of the ruins. Brackenbrook sent you to assist me, and assist me you shall. I would like you to look into the wolf problem we're having. So, defeat wolves around Bronway's Folly, and search atop for the source of the wolf problem. Right, we have some level 1 wolves, so let's hit a few wolves. Literally, metaphorically. So I didn't really have a chance to get my other Gambit in there because these are level 1s. So if I taunt again, I did see his health coming down there. This is the drain from your opponent ability while healing yourself. And I got an incorrect combination of moves there because it didn't trigger a Gambit. So a taunt plus a shield bash didn't seem to do anything. Let's have a look at Gambits again. So I tried a taunt plus a shield bash. It would have been fine if I'd done it the other way around. So a shield bash and a taunt leads to an impressive flurry, which adds 10 critical defense, 7 at this level, 7 physical mitigation, 7 tactical mitigation. Oh, that's quite handy. So it's hard to know which combination you should go for. Part of me wants the healing, but then having the... Let's try that. So if we're going to go for, we need to go for... Was it a shield bash and then a taunt? I can't remember. Shield bash, then a taunt. Okay. A shield bash, a taunt, and then we get an impressive flurry, which buffs us a lot up here. So we had enduring armor use. There we go. So that's the combination there. So if you want to go into combat as a warden with extra defenses, then using your shield bash then your taunt, not the other way around. Whereas you might actually think taunting from a distance would make more sense, but not in this case. Right, Kingsfoil plants and wolves, which in this intro instance are not taking much damage, and I'm being healed. I quite like that. Of course, level 3 is hardly a good gauge as to how I'll be later. And I don't have a cleanse yet, so I do have a wound, which the wolves up here are prone to do. And what did that combination do? Extra block rating and partial block chance. It's good. So while you've only got a few abilities, it is good just to mess around with the combination of Gambit abilities. And to see what triggers what. I suspect this is going to get a lot more complicated, given I bet later on we get 5 different combinations lead to something amazing if you can remember. There's a plugin called Wardenese that I'm going to try and avoid for now, so I'll get used to the system we're given, but I suspect it might come in handy later from what I've read. Right, top of Bronway's Folly, because we've got the 4 Kingsfoil plants. Ah, silly, silly wolf. Injury. The Wolfmaster approaches. You must defeat him. You'll be sorry you're sticking your nose in where you don't belong. You have defeated the Wolfmaster. Ask Caldecott why he set you up to be ambushed. He may not give you a satisfactory answer. So if... What was the one where you get a little bit of healing? There's a couple of them. Just trying to remember all the time, you see. So defensive strike. 2 of those just adds to your block rating. We're currently in the fray. I'm not using Assailment. I think because I've got the Guardian background with my level 44 Guardian, I'm used to just getting in there if I have a shield, which is fine. 2 taunts will actually cause damage over time to your opponent. The attack plus goad, the offensive plus goad drains morale. I think that's what I didn't do before. So let's try the attack plus goad. So if I go 1 and goad. Either way, we've only lost a few health at any point. And I'm pretty sure in the early days of my Guardian I didn't get my head around it. You should never die in Archet. Not in this, well, in any version of Archet, really. What's that one? Because that one doesn't... That one's not a builder, that's just a ranged skill. Attack and weaken the physical defences of your foe. Oh, that's a ranged skill. Deals 20 to 29 damage. No wonder it died before it looked. It's going to die before it gets here at this rate. Oh well. That's good to know. I thought I had to be in the range ability here to be an assailment stance. But you still get a ranged ability as a warden even if you're into the fray stance. So that's good to know. So if I was it a shield plus an attack, I didn't get it in time. Probably now just a bit too over leveled to be able to get the Gambits to trigger. So what I was looking for before was the skill to allow to have this one, Persevere. Heals 3 morale initially and heals 3 morale every 3 seconds for 6 seconds. So an additional 6 morale. Which is a shield bash plus an offensive. Yes. It just means playing with it, I think. Button mashing is not far wrong. But I will need to get my head around what the self-heal ones are for later when you have multiple mobs.
Impossible! A weakling like you defeated the Wolf Master?
How is it you stand before me? I would kill you myself if that fool Dirk Mudbridge weren't watching. Mudbrick, great name. No matter, I do not fear exposure. Brackenbrook will never believe you. He thinks I have served him loyally since I was a lad. But the old fool. Tell Brackenbrook whatever you like, but Archet will fall, and I'll make out with more gold than you can fathom. I can fathom quite a lot. And you will die with the rest if you do not make yourself scarce before tonight. Ah, new skills available. Apparently. Not that I can see a new skill. Let's have a look and see skills. No, I wonder if it's a new Gambit then. Passive skill? No. I can't see a new ability in there. Could just be being blind. It's always an option. Right. So let's head back to Strider, of course. Poor guy. Actually, let's just get rid of junk out of my inventory before I forget. And then we'll go and see Strider.
What do you need?
Not a lot. What is that glow that keeps coming up? Is it around Captain Brackenbrook? No, I don't know where that glow is coming from. Anyway, no matter.
Calder Cobb is a traitor. Danger has found you earlier than I predicted.
It sounds like Calder Cobb had it in for you even before you arrived. How did he know of you if he was at his post? And how did that Blackwold know you were coming? Thank you for the risk you took to deliver the King's foil. I will think upon this riddle while I prepare the salve for Amdir.
I cannot decide which is more dangerous right now. Calder Cobb's treachery, or the ignorance of Captain Brackenbrook.
Right. We'll try and make it to level 5 before we finish this episode, I think. If Calder Cobb is his best soldier, I know Brackenbrook will not believe he has tried to have you ambushed by a Blackwold. I did some asking around while you were gone, and there is a Blackwold Brigand in the stocks, across the lane from here. He is being held for highway robbery. You should question him about Calder Cobb. What's in my pending loot? Not a lot. Right. Let's go speak to the guy in the stocks. You soft fools will regret this. Us Blockwolds aren't as stupid as you think.
Oi, you there! Let me go! Calder Cobb can vouch for me!
I bet he can. That idiot jailer won't heed me. Also quiets down as you tell him you know of Calder Cobb's treachery. So you think you know the plan? Don't be smug, it is too late. By now the gears of war be turning down in the south, and quick. Soon I'll be free, and you'll be the one in the shackles, or worse. Talk to the jailer about Otto's foreboding words. Hello, Mr. Jailer.
Greetings.
It's good to make your acquaintance, Lamuna. I noticed you were questioning Otto. Does that mean that his mutterings have been truthful? Yes, I do believe that what you have come to Archet to tell. It is unprecedented, but all signs are showing that the Blockwolds mean to attack us. How is it they have the means? If Brackenbrook does not believe you, you may tell him that I do, for what it's worth. Talk to Captain Brackenbrook.
How can you say this? Calder Cobb has been loyal to me since he was a boy.
Which is what Calder Cobb told you he would say. That is a serious charge, Lamuna. And ragged leather boots. Whoopee.
I suppose it would be wise to investigate your claim.
Not exactly the latest in Middle-earth fashion. Does Ned speak true of his prisoner? If so, we would be wise to investigate Otto's threat of the trouble in the south. I'll not question Calder Cobb's lifetime of loyalty, if there is no truth to back it up. But if you and Ned are right in your suspicion, this will be a very bad situation for us. Carl Sprigley's farm is to the south of here, near the gate to the town of Combe. If aught is going on, he'll know. Okay, now because we want to actually get... my intention is with Archet to do everything here, and then we'll do a lot more streamlined through places like the Shire and Breland. That'll keep us going for quite a long time, though.
Amdir looks so changed since last night.
I almost feel like he's naught but a shadow when I look at him, and he isn't really there. How it makes me shiver. I saw Strider make a salve of kingsfoil for his wounds, but my Gamoroys used a different remedy when I was a young bandyrook. Would get a nasty splinter. Sweet bilberry tea. I smelled bilberries by the water to the east of here, as we passed in the night, which means they're in season. I would dearly like to make a tea for poor Amdir. Ah, at least the Hobbit tries.
Hey, you there! I'm hungry!
So Hobbit. Right. Hey you, Hobbit! Yes you! When was the last time they fed you? I haven't had a bite to eat since breakfast and I'm starving. All they gave me was bread and jam. Did you fare any better? I would give anything for some real food. I don't think I've ever eaten so badly. If you'd go fetch me some proper food, like meat, I will reward you handsomely. Perhaps I'll even share my leftovers with you, if you're quick. Collect boar meat. Of course he has to cook the meat. So, here's a few pigs. Bon appetit. Or whatever the equivalent is in a language actually spoken in Middle-earth. Right, so where are we going? So, for the epic we need to go to Sprigley's farm. And on the way we can pick up boars. Yes, okay. Hopefully the level of the mobs there will give us a bit of chance to work with the Gambits again. I'm not going to interrupt that minstrel playing with wolves. That's a level 3 wolf. Oh, we can let's go for that. I kind of have to be very patient with... I still get my healing over time, which works well. So I think because of the Guardian thing, I tend to go in Shield Bash first, and that may not always be the wisest choice. But we'll see how things fare. Right. I'll ignore anything that's level 2 and below. There's a level 3 wolf. So if I go for a taunt, and then an attack... yes, I did that combination before, and it was wrong. So, is it an attack then a taunt? So go for an attack and then a taunt. That gives us, I thought it gave us a Gambit. I thought attack then taunt gave us a Gambit. Skill. Gambits. Ah, only an assailment. No, offensive strike, recklessness. Ah, is that a stance? Maybe recklessness is a stance. Right. Maybe? I don't know. No, because I can do deft strike. An attack plus a taunt should have triggered that. I'll go slower on the next mob and see what happens. Right. These pigs poison you occasionally, so... Attack. Taunt. Yes, so here... did trigger it, so that was incorrect about it being to do with the stance. So, offensive, taunt, here, heals morale initially, and then heals for 4 morale over time. So there we go. So that's helpful. Then what was the one that drains the opponents? Sorry I'm having to keep checking this, but there was, which one drains? Oh, that is the equivalent. So attack then taunt, assuming I don't do something else. So attack, taunt, taunt, didn't have time. Should we try on level 3 piggy? Attack, taunt. Ah, it made me attack it twice, so I ended up with the deft strike. Not that's a bad thing, it's just more damage being dealt. I need another pig. But I spotted a Blackwold in here. I actually quite like going in with Shield Bash first, because it tends to lead to the healing ones, apparently. So, remember this one, this marks target, does deal damage. Ah, the Gambits don't have to be done to the same opponent. It's literally just the changing of abilities will do it. Or the using of abilities. Yes, okay. So you can finish one builder on one mob and then use another builder on a different mob. It's very handy to know. Okay.
A stranger, eh? You're the best thing that's happened to us all day.
Yeah, that's not saying a lot. There's other players in the area. If Brackenbrook sent you, I'll take you in. I'm afraid you're the best thing that's happened to us all day. Then we get a cloak. Ooh, 1 agility.
Our best hope is to get help from Combe, our neighbours. They will not let Archet fall to brigands.
And I think what I will do... Let's just see, we've got the wary. Not when I'm charging in face first into every battle, I'm not wary. We still haven't gained any abilities, but because this sort of ends up leading to a few quests, but we'll split Archet across this episode and the next episode. So, we have got this far. We managed to play with some Gambits, looked at the basics of gearing of a Warden, which is very similar to Hunter, except that we can use javelins on a Warden, but you can't use those on a Hunter. And we've experimented with different healing abilities and offensive abilities, trying out different Gambits. So we've covered quite a lot. I am going to pause it there, and I hope this has been helpful. As I said, I won't be adding commentary to every video, because we'll just show some questing and I'll read the quest text. But I hope you'll join me on this series as I play Warden, and yes, I'll see you next time. Take care and look after yourselves.